Praise the Lord, brothers and sisters. This is Sister Bobbie Flowers coming to you once again with our studies of Black history in the Bible. I have today with me my special guest, longtime friend, Brother Bobbie Joe Cooper. And a lot of you probably already know Brother Cooper. He has been very active in the Black community, doing things in the Black community, trying to enhance it. And he's running for political office. And I just want to talk to him to see if he could discuss with us the problems in the Black community, so that we can try to figure out why we have not been able to rise from where we've been for so many years. So, Brother Cooper, nice to have you here.
Thank you. Happy to be here, Sister Flowers.
Well, that's good. Why don't you tell me a little bit about, I know in the past, we tried to do some struggles, and how do you see the Black community now when you look at it? How do you see, and how do you see us spiritually? Are we heading moving forward, or are we going backwards?
In a sense, I think we're going backwards. It's sort of like what Jesus said on one occasion: the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. There are a lot of talkers, and want to be people leaders, but they're not leading much in the right direction.
Okay. Now, what do you think that needs to happen in the Black community in order to improve it? And then I want you to tell me some of the problems specifically that you see.
I see that our leaders are not close enough to God to be led by God. And in order to lead people God's way, you got to be led by God yourself.
Yeah.
We talk about history of Moses, Martin Luther King, etc. God led those men.
Yeah.
And those men followed God, and the people followed those men, and that's how we became free. On one occasion, the Apostle Paul said himself, he said, "Follow me as I follow Christ." Now, common sense says, if the man stopped following Christ, you stop following the man, because he's not following Christ. And the bottom line, you want to follow Christ. You follow Christ, you're following God. Jim Jones said that he was following God, but we know that there was signs that Jim Jones was not following God.
Yes.
Going with all the members, and he was lesbian, homosexual, all these people are not following God when they carry out any kind of act, because God is not in that.
Yes.
And he led them over to Jonestown, Diana, and to kill them.
Yes.
And we don't seem like we learned nothing from that.
Why do you think that people, when they see these preachers and they know that their preachers are not following God, but they make them rich, and even though the media a lot of time will expose these people, but it doesn't do any good, they still follow these preachers, anyway, and I don't understand that.
Most common people love attention, and they will do almost anything for attention, and anything to make them feel like they are somebody and they're popular and they are important. They'll take almost any chance to get that feeling. Yeah.
Because just here lately, I saw an article in the news where they had and sad to say, it was a Black preacher. They had him in the news for this church had made them their pastor. They made him their new pastor. Uh-huh. When he came, I couldn't believe it. You're not going to believe it either. But they told all the kids that the kids could not come to the church because the man is not. So they ran the kids off. It's like they ran the kids off. And so they told the kids could not come, could not be around the man because he's a pedophile. But the people said they wanted him because he preached good.
Well, people, in a sense, most of us are simple. I mean, common sense tell you, if the law said a man is a pedophile, he's not allowed around children, how can he lead you?
Yeah.
How can he pastor you and children can't be around?
Yeah.
And whether we like it or not, as we get older, we're going to die one day. If the children don't know the Lord, oh man, that's it.
Yeah.
So your children need to be right there with you at church.
Yeah.
And you got a pedophile pastoring?
And they like the way he preached.
Well, that's sick people. That's sickness.
I couldn't believe that, that news article, and everybody's just like, what, But I think it shows something in our thinking that is lost, because the stuff that we're accepting today, my grandmother or my granddaddy, they would have been shocked over this, you know.
Yes, yes.
I noticed that after my grandmother passed and I went down to visit on the Cooper Road where she lived, I saw how bad the Cooper Road, it just had gone down. It looked like, what are you calling those cowboy movies, a ghost town? It kind of looked like it was
still have a lot of ghosts hanging around the liquor stores,
you know. And so what had happened is, come to find out, is that a lot of the young people had gone to jail.
Yeah.
And that the people, my grandparents, and probably the older aunts and all them, and the older uncles that had some worth, you know, about them, that group had died out.
Yeah.
And so the next generation was going to jail.
Okay.
And now, can you kind of elaborate a little bit to me? What do you think happened? Did drugs have anything to do with it?
Well, Sister Flowers, I think 75 or 80% of this plays in the part of our leadership.
Yes.
You know, the leaders that are leading, if they don't lead you correctly, you're going to err.
Yeah.
If you notice, the Bible symbolizes people as sheep, God's people as sheep.
Yes.
And if you don't lead a sheep, the sheep don't know what to do.
Yes.
And if you lead a sheep, you can lead a sheep right on out into the ocean.
Yes.
Anywhere. Because it's a sheep, it's a follower.
Yeah.
Now, the leader's supposed to be connected with a stronger power than the rest of the sheep to lead them in the right direction.
Yeah.
And we have been neglected when it comes to the leadership. And a lot of us who know better won't follow good leadership. So it's almost like a scattering has gone on here, and we're scattered all out, going to our own way. But leadership, and not only just in your preachers are not the only leaders. You got politicians are leaders.
Yes.
And they're paid to lead you, and they're paid to do something about what we see. We're building more jails and churches than anything else.
Yeah.
And somebody got to fill those jails up. And the politicians have allowed the jails to be built, and then say I'm a politician and I hire my nephew to open up a jail and pay him to open up a jail and house your children there, because if your children don't finish school, they drop out, they're going to wind up in jail because they're going to want something, they're going to steal something, they're going to commit crime. Yeah. So there's a jail waiting for them. Then I get my other little grandchildren to be the parole officers. So it's all a clique thing.
Yeah, oh, okay.
And then our preachers, many of them don't intervene and step in because the money is more when you just be quiet and go along with the majority of the people. You get a bigger offering. And this is what is happening to our people, and they're falling by the wayside. The daddies are not in the homes.
Yeah.
And if the daddy is there, mama can't get a good welfare check, so you got to put him out. He get out, he don't feel like a man anymore, so he commits crime and get on drugs for consolation, try to get him a little alcohol or drugs, and he wind up in the same fix. So it's a trap set up, what it is.
Yeah, okay.
And we're falling into it.
Yeah.
And nobody look like trying to pull us out. Just criticize us.
Okay. And so now I'm seeing here something that you're saying that I hadn't really concentrated on, is that they have these jails set up like it's a family business.
That's it. Thank you. That's exactly what it is.
And the commodity is the black community.
80 to 90%. There's a few whites in there too. Poverty, let's put it like that. Poor people.
Yeah, because I did see a video where they had a lot of mostly black people and a few poor white people that was caught up in the jail system. But you know what shocked me? I know how many black males are in jail, and I think we should have caught this tiger by the tail a long time ago, but we didn't do that. And so now the Bible says that if you cannot enter a strong man's house and destroy it unless you first destroy that strong man.
You must bind the strong man first.
And this is what has happened to the black community.
Your leaders are bound. Because
if you bound that strong man, then the family, everybody behind him, is going to fall.
Yes.
And so, and so this is what I see that has happened. Something that shocked me that I saw amongst stuff I see often that shocks me is like, okay, nothing else worse than this can happen, but then wow, something else happened. I noticed that the article said that the highest rate now of people that's going into the prison system is black females and children.
Yes.
And it said that within a matter of a few years, I believe, that the number of black women being incarcerated, can you believe the number was 800%?
Really?
Do anything rise 800%? It said the number of black women that have been incarcerated in the past few years is 800%. I said, did the man make a typographical error when he typed? Even if it was 80% in a few years, it would be bad.
Well, I never heard of it.
But it said 800%.
I don't know how that worked.
I couldn't believe that, you know. So I think we find ourselves in traps.
Yes.
That we need to try to figure out how to get out of these traps.
Yes.
You know. I know we're not saying very much about our black history today, but we are talking about our present.
Yep.
And,
well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I know it has been said that if a man do not know where he came from, he will not easily be able to see where he's going.
No, it's true.
And so we do discuss that, but I want to spend time today, you know, talking to you about that. Go on and make your comment, and then I want you to say a prayer.
Well, the black man, God set it up for the black man to be the head of the family.
Yes.
He used to be, but he's not anymore. And that's the way God designed it. And anytime you try to change God's plan or God's design, you're going to fall into trouble.
Yes.
Now, if the black man was the head of the household, meaning that he could provide for his family, work, earn decent wages to take care of his family, wife, and his children, and he was able to instruct his children how to carry themselves and deal with them, you have less of these black boys and girls in jail or having babies out of wedlock.
Yes.
But dad is not in the home anymore. Mama trying to be the mama and the daddy, and in some sense she had to be work for it, but mama even changing, thinking that she's a man. And she's not a man. She can't be. God didn't make her a man.
Yes.
And a woman can't make herself. You can try to act like a man, but you'll never be a man.
Yes.
Not in that body.
Yes.
And that's the only body you're going to get down here. So you might well face up to the fact and accept it.